Pampered and expensive. Edward read aloud from complicated directions that Charlotte had sent me, and soon we were pulling into their driveway. The sprawling, shingled house wouldn't have looked out of place in one of the nicer neighborhoods of a lesser Hampton. According to the book Samuel had given me, it had been built in the 1910s as a summer cottage. There was a history of storm damage and renovations, insulation projects and improvements, and as Samuel had said, it was barely recognizable from the photo in the book. Still, it exuded the charm of old money, of generations gathered under one roof for vacations, of long, dull dinners and furtive pleasures in the darker corners of the garden. I parked under a pine tree on one side of the lawn, and we walked, as instructed, along a flagstone path that cut through a dense hedge of rhododendrons. The backyard sloped down from the house like a plush carpet to a rocky ledge that dropped into the ocean. It was dark now, but it was a clear, windy night, and shadows from the swaying trees and bushes encircling the yard were swimming on the moonlit lawn. Across the open water, the skyline of Boston was glittering like an expensive toy. "I'm impressed with your new crowd," Edward said. "I'm a big advocate of making friends outside your class." "It's the lighting," I said. "It makes everything look pampered and expensive. Even you, I might add. This new look of yours, with the dress shirts and the flannel pants, is very becoming." "It's emotional maturity, also known as the grim acceptance of the aging process." A wide porch stretched across the entire back of the house. It was lined with chairs like the deck of a ship, and some of them were rocking in the wind. A woman was standing against the railing, smoking, her arms wrapped around her chest. I developed sympathy for smokers, whose once glamorous addiction had turned them into social pariahs almost overnight. You saw them huddled in doorways outside of office buildings, restaurants, bars, trying to look dignified, their cigarette ad gestures graceful anachronisms. "In exile?" I asked. The wind blew her thick dark hair into her face, another indignity, and she reached up to...
Para seguir escuchando este audiolibro gratuitamente, haz clic en el enlace de la descripción y podrás escucharlo completo sin coste gracias a la prueba de 30 días de Audible.